ground.
If you take a modern UFC heavyweight champion and throw him into a time machine back to Japan in 2004, he wouldn't survive the opening 5 minutes. Modern MMA is a game of points, cages, and safe strategies. But 20 years ago, in the Pride Fighting Championships, it was a high-speed car crash where the rules itself were designed to create monsters.
Oh, he's out! He's out!
Brady Shevs, oh my God!
Look at modern heavyweights. When they get tired, they lean against the cage. They use the fence to rest, stall, and survive. In Pride, there was no fence. There were ropes. If you tried to lean on them, you fell out of the ring. This single architectural difference changed everything.
Here it is, though. Right. One more time here.
What? Yes, it was a 1-2. Okay.
The second one.
You couldn't wall and stall. You either fought your way out of the corner using pure explosive footwork, or you caught a brutal combination to the chin.
I gotta tell you what, I've been Brady Shevs, oh my God! Oh, that's...
In the UFC, the rules protect a downed fighter. If your knees are on the canvas, your head is a safe zone.
Head here to him. That's
illegal.
But in Japan, being on your knees meant you were targets for soccer kicks and knees to the skull.
I know, going for the Pablo Silva stop on the soccer kick, and another stop, and this is danger, ankle pick.
This altered the entire biomechanics of wrestling.
Reminiscent of the middleweight tournament.
You couldn't shoot for a lazy takedown and sit there.
See it physically, just looking at him. Look at this.
If you messed up your entry,
Rigo Garrett, Pride 31 Dreamer.
your face would meet a kneecap traveling at 30 miles per hour.
Oh, jeez, he got caught. He got body blow. Body blow. His fight's still on. It's over. That's it.
It forced heavyweights to be surgically precise
Done. And now Jackson unloading.
and impossibly fast.
Wild right uppercut. Now Silva gets busy.
When Kevin Randleman slammed Fedor Emelianenko directly on his neck,
And turns it around.
by all laws of human anatomy, the fight should have been over. A normal human body would break. Instead of resisting the gravity, Fedor rotated his shoulder joint at the exact millisecond of contact, converting a career-ending crash into a transition for a submission.
Oh, here we go. There it is.
You see, I'm here with a victor. Everybody knows that the left kick is coming, but for some reason, they can't see it coming.
It's my favorite kick, and I train it every day.
Some
Morning, evening, and
Cro Cop.
Mirko Cro Cop was a human railgun. In Pride, the lack of a cage meant his opponents had to move laterally, straight into the firing line of his devastating left shin.
Have knockout power in their hands.
There's the kick.
But the most brutal rule was how they handled boredom. If you stalled the action for more than 30 seconds, the referee immediately issued a yellow card. It didn't just look bad, it deducted 10% of your entire fight purse. They literally fined fighters for being boring. It forced heavyweights to fight for their money from the first second to the last.
And Cro Cop's sprawl is something to behold. He is gaining. Cro Cop scored.
If you think modern fighters have it hard with a 3-month fight camp for one single opponent, Pride Grand Prix tournaments would terrify you. In those tournaments, a fighter had to win multiple fights in a single night.
Man, those elbows. And you can see the...
You could break your hand in the first fight, and 2 hours later, you had to face a fresh elite killer. Combine that with their legendary freak shows, where 170-pound technical gladiators were thrown into the ring against 350-pound steroid monsters. It wasn't about weight classes. It was about checking the absolute limits of human martial arts. But size didn't always mean victory. To understand why this happened, you need to know who these men were. Don Frye was a legendary UFC pioneer, a dangerous combination of a Division I wrestler and a professional boxer. He was a cold-blooded fighter with a mustache and a cowboy attitude who treated the ring like a backyard brawl. Across from him stood Yoshihiro Takayama, a 280-pound god of Japanese pro wrestling. Takayama wasn't just a massive athlete. He was a cultural icon in Japan, built like a brick wall and possessing an inhuman chin that had never been cracked.
Shot is right there. Throw that front kick, blocking away, and taking kick after kick. Oh, good shot with left hand.
When they signed the contract for Pride 21, everyone knew it wouldn't be a technical match. It was a clash of two different worlds, two immovable objects looking to prove whose spirit was stronger. The moment the bell rang, these two heavyweights grabbed each other's necks and started throwing full-power right hooks into each other's faces for 3 minutes straight. No blocking, no dodging, just pure jaw-testing simulation. This fight proved that Pride wasn't just about martial arts. It was a coliseum where men traded their health for eternal glory. But while some fights were driven by pure primal chaos, the ultimate peak of this era was achieved when maximum violence met absolute tactical genius. By 2005, the world of combat sports was hypnotized by two men who seemed unstoppable. Mirko Cro Cop was a literal anti-terrorist elite special forces officer from Croatia. He was a kickboxing assassin who dismantled full-time MMA fighters with a single surgical strike, his legendary left high kick. He looked at his opponents like a hunter looks at prey. And on the other side of the bracket was Fedor Emelianenko, the last emperor. A quiet, stone-faced Russian sambo master who came from absolute poverty, training in old, decaying gyms. Fedor didn't show emotion. He didn't trash talk. He just stepped into the ring and systematically destroyed world champions with terrifying, calm precision. Their collision was the most anticipated fight in the history of the sport. It wasn't just a match. It was a battle for the throne of the baddest man on the planet. Look at the tactical masterclass between Fedor and Mirko Cro Cop. Cro Cop was the ultimate sniper. His left high kick was a death sentence. Every heavyweight before Fedor tried to back away from it and died. But Fedor executed a suicidal, yet brilliant game plan. He did what no modern fighter dares to do. He pressured the sniper.
Yes, he is. You know, Emelianenko has great power, though.
Fedor constantly moved into Mirko's dangerous side, invading his personal space. Forcing the kickboxer to fight going backwards.
But met immediately by Emelianenko, and now he has him on the rope boss.
It was a 20-minute chess match played at the speed of light, with heavyweights throwing nuclear bombs. This wasn't lucky brawling.
The action boss, but then he's met with the right by Emelianenko. To Mirko Cro Cop.
You know, the corner.
It was peak tactical warfare
Whoa, inside leg grip.
that modern heavyweights couldn't replicate even in their dreams.
And again, a body shot. Look here from Mirko. Oh, look at this.
And that is exactly why the modern era feels so empty.
His opportunity to be slipping away. A liver kick.
Today's heavyweight division has bigger athletes, better supplements, and massive corporate paychecks. But they will never replicate the raw, unadulterated violence of the 2000s.